but you need the mindset where you say to yourself, hey, look, as rough as it might get, there's always a bull market somewhere. So what can you do that's in your control? Hey, this is Duncan MacPherson with Pareto Systems. In a recent conversation with a very enlightened fee-for-service professional, I was asked this very interesting question. He said, what do you think the number one reason is as to why a client would leave a service provider? And I just, after a little bit of thought, said to him that above and beyond everything else, it probably has to come down to loyalty fatigue, right? Which stems from the law of familiarity. So the more familiar a relationship becomes over time, the more things get taken for granted and value gets trivialized. And now the relationship is at risk. And, a jolt could occur. Somebody could come along with a great story and trigger a moment of recognition and awareness in your client's minds that maybe there's an alternative. It's like Randy Schwantz says, for you to get hired, someone's got to get fired, but that can work the other way as well. It's interesting. When I talk to somebody who loses a client, I say to them, call the person who defected and tell them that you respect their decision, and then ask them why they left. And more often than not, that now departed client says something like, it's nothing personal. I just felt it was time for a change. You've got to keep your clients engaged. There are so many external dependencies, and then again, the abstract nature of your value. In the best of times, there can be issues where you're at the mercy of things out of your control. But how about when things are rough? Andy Grove wrote a great book called Only the Paranoid Survive, where he talked about the positive power that can come from negative thinking. And don't misinterpret that. You obviously want to be positive, but there are so many things out of your control. But you need the mindset where you say to yourself, hey, look, as rough as it might get, there's always a bull market somewhere. So what can you do that's in your control? And what are our clients doing that's getting the best results right now? It'd be the call rotation, but with a twist. So they're proactively contacting their clients on a scheduled rotation. This is not the time to be passive or reactive, right? You have to be respectfully assertive and proactive, but also prepared, not winging it, not just relying on a stream of consciousness. And we've got many clients that are basically asking very well-intentioned and prepared questions that have nothing to do with business, that really help the client focus on the silver linings of life. For example, asking a client the question, what have you been doing through all of this to stay positive and productive? Leads to a great conversation. Then asking, have you picked up any new hobbies or interests, or maybe gotten to some things that you've been putting off for a while? And what are you looking forward to in the future once we come out of this that maybe in the past you took for granted? Excellent conversations. And then going even further, we've got clients, one of our coaches shared with me that a client did a Twitter poll with his clients, and it was the most engaged exercise from within his community of clients, just asking those questions on Twitter. Of course, you can do it on the phone, you can do it through an email campaign, you can do it all through all sorts of platforms and formats, but you're sharing what your community is feeling. Your client wants to feel like they're your best client, but not your only client. and that you take deepening relationships very seriously. I want to paraphrase a pretty famous guy who said, "Ask not what your community can do for you. Ask what you can do for your community." I know your clients want to know where you stand on the quantitative side. Gold and oil and geopolitical and the future, volatility. I know they want all that. Just balance that with the qualitative and how they're feeling. And you'll never be a victim of loyalty fatigue. Okay, so thanks for watching. This is Duncan MacPherson with Pareto Systems. Until next time, make it a great day.